All right. There's at least four people in the administration now for whom knives are out. Very, very much now back to the Trump 1.0 dynamic. That includes Peter Navarro. It includes Lutnick. It includes what's his name? The negotiator. Constantly blanking on his name.
Steve
Witkoff.
Witkoff.
Witkoff. And it includes now, most particularly, Mike Waltz. Wall Street Journal story this morning goes further than anyone has gone previously in saying that Waltz is on thin ice, that the only reason he wasn't fired last week was because Trump didn't want to reward Jeffrey Goldberg in The Atlantic and those calling for him to resign. The story has a little nugget buried in it that says that, in fact, Waltz has used Signal previously in ways that some people found questionable to have communication. And uh, Jeffrey Goldberg over the weekend basically said the guy didn't say in so many words, but seemed to be saying the guy was a source of mine. So, Sean, two questions first for you related. And I normally don't ask two-part questions, but they're so related, I feel I can cluster them. Number one, if it's true that he's a source of Jeffrey Goldberg, like, isn't that a dangerous game to be playing? I mean, do you think he told the
Yes.
White House? And
Yes.
two, how do you think he reacts to seeing that Wall Street Journal headline?
I don't think well. So two things. One, I think the source is the Achilles heel, meaning that if he, I harken back to the Steve Scully scandal when he was supposed to moderate that panel on C-SPAN and went out
Debate.
and had everybody, including myself. I've known Steve a long time. He's a man of faith, and he came to me and said, "Sean, I didn't do this, and I had his back." And I think people do that instinctively and reflexively sometimes when they're backed into a corner. And if what Goldberg said, I thought his comments to me were very interesting because he had initially said out of the gate, I've only talked to him twice and it's been several years ago. And then when he got asked on Meet the Press, he intimated that it was a lot more than that. Now, again, you know my views on Jeffrey Goldberg and what a scumbag I think he is. But I think that regardless of that, Trump sees this kind of stuff because remember, he called Kristen Welker to talk to her about a number of things prior to the interview. So clearly he was going to watch Meet the Press. So he saw Jeffrey Goldberg say that. Then he sees the Wall Street Journal interview or story that Josh Dossey and others put out. This is not a good thing. You used my analogy from the other day. Once you start attritting down from your, call it starting with 100 points, the quicker you go down to zero is not good. Your hope is to hold that number higher for as long as possible. And what is going to hurt him, and I thought was interesting, is that Thursday night or Friday, the Politico story that Sergio Gore, Vance, and Susie Wiles had gone to him. It's one thing to have people have your back and the president pissed at you. It's another thing when his inner circle is also not having your back. Now, I don't know if that political story is true, and I haven't asked any of the aforementioned people to confirm it. But I will say it doesn't matter because the president's reading that.
Yeah. The
And what
Times
he's not
the
good.
Times matched that reporting, or at least claimed to.
Right.
And any
And
story
so
with
did
Josh,
Axios.
and yes, any story with Josh Dossey on it means the president's going to read it and be concerned about it. That's one of the bylines he watches closely.